So what? Mrs. Kim arches an eyebrow and takes a sip of her coffee, sitting in the armchair across from her spouse. So what? I couldn't leave him there, could I? Not after that scoundrel dared to touch him. You know Jungkook, the man size. And now just imagine what the jerk might have tried to do to him, causing Jungkook to hit him on the head and knock him out. She chuckles slightly, squinting her eyes as she takes another sip of coffee. Then she continues. Well, I'll agree with that. Jungkook doesn't seem like the kind of person who would resort to such actions without a good reason. It seems I broke that scumbag's nose, Taehyung remarks, leaning back into his chair and holding a cup of strong, fresh brewed coffee. But I couldn't help myself when I saw him getting close to Jungkook. He called him. If it were up to me, I'd, darling, she murmurs with a warning, and Taehyung sighs. God, I won't dirty my hands with something like that shit of a person. But that, Mrs. Kim, he shakes his head. I did send J-Hope to see him afterward to explain things more politely, but J-Hope said he wasn't exactly ready to back off. He just brushed J-Hope off. I don't know how I can ever let Jungkook go back to that shitty apartment. If that man is still there, I won't allow it. He's likely to go after him again, and what do you think we should do? Shall we contact our estate agent? Taehyung raises an eyebrow. We could find a small apartment for Jungkook, right? I don't think you'll lose much if you find a new home for your little Whiffert. Taehyung plays with his cheekbones, looking at his wife. First of all, don't call him a Whiffert, he snaps, clicking his tongue, and Mrs. Kim rolls her eyes. Secondly, I've already tried to suggest that, but he won't listen to me. I think he'd rather die than leave that dump that he calls an apartment. He pauses, but before his wife can respond, Taehyung breaks into a grin and looks at her with a glint in his eyes. So, I've decided to get rid of that scumbag. Taehyung's spouse raises an eyebrow. I'm sorry, get rid of him? Well, he purses his lips and shrugs, and then he chuckles. J-Hope will just pay him another visit. Take him for a little ride, you know, somewhere out of state. It's not my fault this jerk won't find his way back. Taehyung, what? I won't be killing anyone, Taehyung. Taehyung rolls his eyes. I told you, I won't use my hands. I'll just get rid of the little thing that could threaten my boy. Taehyung, come on, don't be so serious. It's just a joke. Taehyung winks at her. You know very well that I'm trying to protect our image, the woman points out. Next month, Kim Development has a major deal coming up. The press will be all over it, and if anything happens and your name will be on it, it's over, darling. I'm not an idiot. Taehyung clicks his tongue again. I know how to handle things cleanly. Don't forget who taught me all this, Oswald Kim, that's who. Taehyung's father had always been a shark, not just in business, but in life as well. And Mrs. Kim knows there's nothing surprising about the fact that he raised his son to be just like him. I know, dear, but as a lawyer and as your wife, I won't allow you to do that. No, Mrs. Kim, but Jungkook, I don't care. You won't be risking your reputation and company. Not now, Taehyung. We'll be announcing the deal soon. The press won't take their eyes off you, and rivals will be looking to find something on you. No. No, and that's my final word. But what else can I do to protect him? Any legal option? She suddenly cuts him off with anger, and then with a loud thud, she places her cup on the coffee table and stands up. Just there, Taehyung, she warns, pointing her finger at him. Just there, and your father will find out everything. I won't hesitate to reach out to him. Mrs. I'm 36 years old. You can't threaten me with my father. After all this time, I'm now much stronger and more powerful than him. Oh, then you don't mind if I tell him how you're risking the family business and your reputation for the sake of some damn wafer? Taehyung repeats her actions, leaving his coffee behind, and also stands up, growling and staring at his spouse. Don't you dare, he hisses angrily. I told you not to call him that. Stay the hell out of my life, Mrs. Our life. All business matters concern our family, Taehyung. Hell no, I won't let some street kid ruin everything. And you'll sit tight and not dare do anything I don't approve of. Taehyung takes a step towards her, towering over the woman, and grinds his teeth. Mind your own business. And I'll handle Kim developments and its reputation myself. Mrs. Kim snorts, gripping his jaw lightly and lifting herself on tiptoes, coming very close to her spouse's face. You're having fun with the whiffer because I allow it, Taehyung. Don't make me angry. And then everything will stay as it was. Really? Taehyung smirks, grabbing her jaw similarly but not to the point of causing pain. Maybe I should pay some attention to your private life too? As a spouse. Do you want to talk about that? You heard me, Taehyung. Sit quietly and don't draw attention to your name until we get all the signatures. Otherwise, I'll personally destroy you. A cold smile slides across the man's lips, and he quickly removes her hand from his face. Be more careful with your words, so I don't do it first. Don't cross the line, Mrs. I'll cross any lines if you're risking our family business and reputation for your lover toy. Understand that, so I don't have to explain it more clearly. Watch your life, Mrs. and your words. How can I? She feigns an emotionless, entirely fake smile. You're my dear husband. Your life is my life, darling. Leave my apartment. For the fake, leave my damn apartment, Mrs. Before we get into a real fight, better take care of your little whiffer. The woman coolly throws in as she approaches the couch and grabs her laptop along with her bag. She glances at her husband once more. After all, you're the one who picked him up. I'm not going to be his mommy. Well, unless you don't piss me off enough. Go, Taehyung sighs, pinching the bridge of his nose. And don't you dare call him that again. I'll decide for myself what to call him. And watch your words when you're talking to me next time, she coldly retorts. And with that, she confidently leaves the room, her high heels clicking on the way out, dispelling the lingering tension. He just stands there, mentally counting to himself to calm down. Only the sound of the elevator doors closing after his wife snaps him out of this vacuum. Taehyung hates it when things between them reach this stage. The man exhales loudly when he finally opens his eyes and shakes his head. Taehyung hates it all. And then, taking another deep breath, he retrieves the cups from the table and carries them to the kitchen. Awaking once again, with an awkward twist in the bed, Jungkook frowns and furrows his brows as he struggles to open his eyes. He rubs them with his fingers and attempts to blink away the grogginess. Then, he spots Mr. Kim on the other side of the bed, wearing just trousers and a shirt, engrossed in a book. Sir Jungkook hesitantly and quietly calls, slightly propping himself up. He feels the heaviness in his head as if it's trying to pull him back onto the pillow. Mr. Kim looks up from his book, turning his head with a faint smile on his lips. Yes, sweetheart? Is everything all right? Do you need something? Jungkook blinks at him in confusion. What are you doing here in my own bed? Taehyung chuckles wearily. Resting, perhaps. No, you time. Is it? He nods as if checking, glancing out of the window. Well, yes, I guess it is. Aren't you supposed to be at work? Can't leave you here alone, can I? Mr. Kim smiles again, turning back to his book. I need to keep an eye on you, don't you? Don't you need to go to your office or something? I do, but I rearranged my schedule. Don't worry about it. Just relax and rest.